making schools safe by focusing on mental health training, building your own police department, suicide prevention, sexting pupils, parents, police, and how to make sure that the parents are involved in the sexting and texting that the kids are doing, and making sure that it's not happening and things like that, and the consequences of it. I really did enjoy it. Like I said, I think I guess it's kind of weird to say, but definitely my favorite was the human trafficking. It was really sad to see that. Yes, very, yes. And then we learned a little bit about policy and regulation, and learning what policy and what regulations would be something that would actually be something that we would implement, and learning the difference between policy and regulations.
Colorado, would you like to add something?
Sure. My takeaway from the classes I attended, and I like to try and go really try and focus on all of the same type of sessions that go together, but I really enjoyed one particular class from one of the higher ups at Google gave a presentation. Excellent presentation. Basically, what that entailed was the change in our society, education, and that we haven't changed along with it. And you know, his position was that we shouldn't be asking kids what they want to do, what you want to do, what you want to be. Rather, the focus nowadays should be what problem solve. And I think he's incorrect about that. I know he's a Google guy, but right? I know he's one of the higher up Google guys, but and he's super rich. All of them are, right?
Yeah.
But I really think that what we need to start considering doing is not just with focusing on the educating of our kids is not just what problem you want to solve, is rather what do you want to do, and how do you think you can solve or help your community's needs? And that's why I think higher education has dropped the ball as well. Because they bring kids in, they let them major in whatever, and in the past there had been really zero counseling, and we're probably guilty of that too, as to what the market is going to be in the next era, where those jobs are going to be. And really we need to start focusing on what that change is going to be. Kids, and we're getting basically saying we're behind the ball big time in terms of thinking of those. We shouldn't be thinking, he says, what education is 21st century. We should be thinking of what's second. What are those skills that kids are going to need in the future that we need to start developing now? But I really think that, you know, we don't do that, and some of the points that were brought up in another session that I attended was the same thing as that, you know, don't push for some of the other career technology trainings anymore, or we're going to have a lack in some of those. Not that we don't have kids that go into that, but we're not going to have them that are prepared to go into it. And so at one point, you know, we saw it back 6 years when I was, you know, back on the board, 6 years, 7 years ago, that we had meetings with our local businesses, and some of them, the builders that came in and told us, you know, hey, we want kids that are able to come out here and able to do electricity, able to do building, able to do framing, able to do that. You know, it's going to get to a point where, you know, the people in HVAC and electricity are going to be making a lot more than some of the lawyers and doctors. Because there's none of them doing it. So it's kind of like a wake-up call for us to say that we need to start looking, and I know we're kind of a smaller district, El Paso obviously can do that, but we need to start thinking about those things as to how we can start doing, along with everything we're doing. There's those people that do want to do, get training and things like that in the building trades. That's never gonna change in terms of the way we build things, but not gonna go away completely. But, anyways,
Thank you, thank you.
Madam Chair, I was wondering, if all this is board speak, but we have Dr. Ray as consent.
Okay, so we
She
will.
has babies at home, but I was wondering if we could jump to consent. Is there any item there, consent?
Well, then I move to approve the consent agenda.
I second.
Well, Dr. Reyes, I don't need to pull nothing. She would like to speak about something. That's it. Go ahead, Dr. Reyes.
Are we in reference to?
Yes, in reference, yes.
Is it on the consent agenda? Yes.
Yes.
You need to approve the consent agenda with that item now.
Okay, it's item, where are you? Ms. Reyes, it's item B2.
You can-
I would like to pull
You can pull that item.
that out. We're gonna consent and then we're gonna discuss. So we're going to move to approve. There's already a
Motion
second,
and a
a
second.
motion and a second.
Ms. Brigham,
Yes.
Mr. Coronado,
yes,
Ms. Fritzie,
Yes.
Mrs. Searles,
Yes.
Mrs. Trout,
Yes.
and Mrs. Iglesias.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item B2 has been excluded, and that would be approval of a memorandum of agreement with AmeriCorps Parents as Teachers as collaboration with United Way AmeriCorps and Cantillo ISD for direct services to parents and children ages 0 to 5 in the Cantillo community, not to exceed $4,000.
Correct.
Correct. Thank you, Ms. Reyes. So the question that I made to you, remember that I would like to know how those parents or grandpas, they're going to be in contact with the parents of the kids they're going to be fostering.
Okay, so we're now discussing item B1.
We pulled B2.
Okay, because it's not B2, it's.
The parents and teachers as a collaboration with United Way.
Yes, you.
And the children's 0 to 5, and which is the item that I was
B2.
B2.
B2 is the item you approved, which is the parents as teachers.
Yes.
But the item you were questioning was B1, which had to do with the foster grandparents.
Okay, I'm going to pull out B1. Oh,
Yes.
do we already approve the agenda? Okay, that's okay, we approve. That's what I was asking you, which one was it? I got confused with it. This one, that's okay.
Okay, B1 is the one that you had the question on.
Yeah, but we can talk about that, not until we approve this, no. But we already approved the whole agenda, that's fine, that's okay. Except for B2. But still, can you please tell us a little bit about the B2?
About the.
Yes,
Parents as
United Way,
Teachers
yes,
program?
ma'am, yes.
So the Parents as Teacher program, we do have two AmeriCorps Vista volunteers who will be present on our campus at the Lone Star Building.
Yes.
They service families, up to 20 families each, with students or children that ages 0 to 5. They work with a strict curriculum that addresses their social, emotional, their pre-readiness for school, or their readiness for school, those pre-reading skills. They have home visits that they must do twice a month with those families, and then they bring them in to work in our building where we have a setup for a school setting so that they can prepare those children. And again, it is for 0 to 5 age group.
In this, they go to the classes and they pull out the kids from the classes and they need to, that's the item that I wanted to talk, yes.
Okay,
that.
correct.
So they go and pull out the kids and they just talk and they, for example, they have a recommendation from the teacher. You know what, can you please help me with this, or how is this?
They can when the students are in our classrooms, which are generally your 4-year-olds and your 5-year-olds, because they could be attending our pre-K and kinder programs, so they can assist there. It can be by referral from the campus level, usually our parent liaisons, counselors, and what happens is those AmeriCorps Vista volunteers will target what those teachers will see in the classroom so that they can also provide assistance to the families. Because the primary goal for the parents as teachers is that the parents are the first teacher. So we want them to be prepared to work with their child prior to entering school so that they can be much more successful and be much more ready for the academics.
Thank you very much, Dr. Reyes. All that I wanted to know about this fantastic program. Thank you very much. Then I move to approve B2.
Can I second?
Thank you.
There's a motion and a second. Ms. Brigham?
Yes.
Mr. Coronado?
Yes.
Ms. Fritzie?
Yes.
Ms. Searles?
Yes.
Mrs. Trout?
Yes.
And Mrs. Iglesias?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Dr. Reyes.
Thank you.
Madam President, where did you want to go back to the Board of Trustee business?
So we're going to follow the agenda as it is, which is the next one, the legacies.
Okay.
6B.
I have 7B, discussion possible action on a resolution honoring the life and legacies of Cesar Chavez and Dolores C. Huerta.
Yes, Mr. Rodriguez is not here, but I would like to ask Ms. Bates if she could speak with you now.
Sure. We have spoken to many other school districts in Texas that have adopted resolutions such as this one, so I'm just asking the board if they would like to make any corrections or any addition to the resolution. As you know, Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta were advocates of farm workers and were well, they really did help them go forth as far as being able to get fair wages, medical coverage, pension, benefits, better humane living conditions, and we're able to help the people come along. And us being right here on the border and where we have a lot of farmland, I think it's very important that we set precedents and that we send out this resolution and possibly even make a day that we introduce this to our kids, Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta. So if anybody has any questions or would like to make any additions to this.
Is there any questions? What? Thank you very much. So then we're going to have a resolution about Dolores and Huerta and Cesar Chavez, so we're going to have to sign it.
Is there a
So
motion?
We would have to.
So we're going to approve, are we gonna need to make a motion
Yes.
for this resolution? So I would like to make a motion for this.
And I would second.
There's a motion and a second. Ms. Brigham?
Yes.
Mr. Coronado?
Yes.
Ms. Fritzie?
Yes.
Mrs. Searles?
Yes.
Mrs. Trout?
Yes.
And Mrs. Iglesias?
Yes.
Motion passes. Item C, Administration of Financial Statement Report from the Central Appraisal District. Ms. Searles?
Yes, thank you. I sent a very large, well, actually the district sent it to the board, I believe on August the 23rd, a very large,
7C.
very large report from the Central Appraisal District on everything, from every exemption that we give, everyone who gets them, everyone who's paid their taxes. It was huge. Then following September, we got a follow-up, I hope that y'all read it, from Linebarger, the company that we hired to do our property value study. Great presentation we had from them. And then I followed up in October with a letter to each of the entities. I think that was probably Dr. Gallipese. And that gave, I could read it to you, but there's no reason to. I'm pretty sure we all got it in the Thursday packet. The big keys this year are that the Central Appraisal District did an excellent job. Everything was done on time, as needed to be done, and that with that in mind, we still have lawsuits that we're going to be looking at. And so we have to financially shore ourselves up. It's going through the state. Many of these large corporations have figured out that they can hire tax attorneys to protest their appraisal values. And in so doing, it takes it back to the table, and we may not get all of it we thought we were going to get. So that is a problem, and in the letter that I wrote to y'all, you can see who were the people who were possibly going to be in on these lawsuits. The biggest one, in my opinion, being the outlet mall again, because they had told us they weren't going to sue, so they've gone back on their word. And I think it was really impressive that the CAD received a 97% approval rating this year. I thought that was a really good thing. I mean, nobody goes in there because they're happy. Everybody's mad when they go in. You're not happy with what you have. And if you can walk away with a 97% approval rating, somebody did a very good job. So I thought that was very noteworthy. And is there anything else I could,
Someone has
any questions?
So this is
Anything?
this is the report that you give, it was given by Kat, right? This is the same report that the one that you are providing to us, this is the one that they have.
Well, there was the big
Okay.
report from CAD,
Well, okay.
and the Linebarger report, a little smaller and a little more directed. And then I'm giving you kind of a brief
Kind of a brief-
overview of, a little comprehensive
I'll
of
leave.
what pertains to us as a district. And the biggest thing is that these companies have realized that they can sue, and that there are attorneys who are very good. And so we need to make sure that our finances are ready to handle that. When they,
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
yes ma'am.
Ms. Earls, you already said about the outlet mall,
Yes.
right? Now, they already, are they
Yes.
suing us again?
Yes.
Oh, okay, and
Yes.
then,
It's not being a very good neighbor.
no, and who's the other entity?
So, there's quite a few of them. The Westtown Shopping Center, these new people up here. The Hunt Corporation has got several pieces of property that in their vacant land
Okay,
at this point.
so my.
And Plexar warehouses,
Oh,
which,
like, I know what that is. So
Yes.
it's everything on that side? It seems like something.
well,
Cute.
outlets on this side.
Oh, that's correct. So, when they sue us, then it goes, what kind of, so is that gonna be effective this year?
No,
It's firing?
no,
Oh,
we have
okay.
no, not this year. Everything's good, smooth sailing for this year.
Okay.
We get to keep their tax money,
Okay,
and yet we have to prepare for the following year.
so,
Because, and yet it could even take longer than that. There's a lot of
okay, I
litigation.
have a question then.
Yes.
Okay, I guess, I'm sorry, I'm not sure how, I guess, I really was gonna ask you.
Oh.
How does that happen? You know, what I'm saying is, how do you plan for the monies? How do you budget for it, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, then we need to ask to Ms. Pekarsky, so she could come and give her input.
So this is no different than what happened with the outlet mall before.
Okay,
We were putting away 350,000 a year because we knew that más o menos it was gonna be around 700,000 that we're gonna have to pay back. So that's what we'll work again with central appraisal to see if we can estimate what the amount will be and how many years it will cover, because sometimes it's retroactive.
okay, so I guess that's my question, jump on. So they go in, okay, let's make it easy, so I'm a taxpayer, I go in and say, I don't want to spend 5,000 in cash.
No. No, the Central Appraisal District goes around everyone's neighborhood, they came to your neighborhood, they appraise your property, but what is it worth? And you get a property tax notice, not a bill, a notice.
Notice.
And that tells you what they think it's worth, and you go, oh, that's fine, I'm happy, I'll pay that. And the bill comes in the mail, not on that day that you get the notice. The others go, oh, I'm not very happy. As a person, will protest.
Oh,
You will protest that, and you will go down to the Central Appraisal, you'll protest
so
that.
these, but they don't, so these people
No.
don't protest, they sue.
That's correct.
Okay, that's-
Commercial, these are big commercial
Okay.
properties for millions and millions
So
of dollars.
what I'm saying, so CAD then has to talk to you, and so you know all the people that are going to dispute their taxes?
Yes, and as she said, that comes out in the Thursday packet. There was a recent one where they
I
showed,
didn't understand.
okay, that's what that was. Those are all the people who are protesting their property value.
Oh, and I mean, I read it, but I didn't understand what year it was going to, you really don't know either.
There are
You just
always,
start putting it away.
there's always 4 years in play, so it could be anywhere in there. It's,
I just
Thank
didn't
you.
know when,
That was
thank you
a-
very much.
yes.
Thank you, Ms. Pekarsky, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Next item?
Item D, report regarding leadership CASB held in Austin, Texas from September 26th to September 30th, 2018. President Trout.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the leadership task C classes that I took over there. I mean, while you guys were doing some other stuff, I was in class from 7 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night. I'm going to read a little bit about this. So Leadership TASB is a unique program to form a master trustee, going through an application with questions and answers to be approved by a selection process of professionals. It is a very challenging program, very intense. This academy will take several months in the different cities. Classes starts from 7 to 7 and sometimes until 9 o'clock at night. Also to dedicate a lot of time studying, reading, doing research of the different topics to perform them on class. And send it to the leadership TASB to evaluate and grade the homework. Everything is paperless, a laptop and a USB are required. All the communication is electronically, presentations on PowerPoint. The assignments are at professional level. They teach us several subjects by professionals including legal advice, leadership, curriculum perspective, no excuses, trustworthy, authority, rule of law, social and moral consciousness, making hard decisions, preparedness and readiness for critical decisions, taking responsibility, fundamental ethic of leadership, protocols in the district, nature of problems, existential risk, constructive critic, alternatives, the perspective of the education for our students, and several more. My homework is to read a book about 725 pages, make a PowerPoint of it, send it to Leadership TASB, to my teacher, and present this on class. Also to research a school district in Amarillo, Texas, learn about it, what kind of programs do they offer to their students, everything about that district. My class and my teachers will arrive to that district in school bus, and I will welcome them to the district and talk about all the information that I learned about that district. And of course, I will be evaluated. All this homework has to be presented in November on my next class in Amarillo, Texas. Thank you.
Item E, review, discussion, and possible action regarding the board team operating procedures, board paperless meetings. President Trout.
Okay, so I'm going to read, talking to TASB. They just talking about all the printer papers that we have here, all the board trustees here in this district. So they told me to go to a BB Legal, and I'm going to read it here. A district shall post in place convenient to the public the cost of responding to one or more requests submitted by a board member under the Education Code 11.1512C. If the requests are more than 200 or more pages of material in a 90-day period. A district shall report to TEA no later than September the 1st of each year. So Dr. Galaviz, you need to give us a copy of that report. And also to record the board books, everything is being printed, like a backup agendas, or a list, financial report, personal emails, and more printing material requested. And also provide us to report them to TEA. This is for the record. A district shall report annually, like I said, to TEA no later than September the 1st, and the number of requests submitted by a board member under Education Code 11.1512 during the presiding school year, and the total cost to the district for the school year of responding to this request. So Dr. Galaviz, please, I'm going to ask you to send me a copy, the report that you have done, to send us a copy to TEA, including all these board requests along with the price. So,
Do we need action on this, Steve?
No.
No? Okay.
so would you like to give some information about this?
I had asked for information. I think it's really important that we are transparent if we are printing materials or asking for printing materials. On average, Thursday packets in pages are about 624 pages. Supplies for that are $86. The salaries are between $42 and $96. The delivery, if you have it delivered, is $24. Total packet for each week is $152 to $206 per week. And then for a regular board meeting, 669 pages. The supplies is $91. Salaries are about the same, $42 to $96. Delivery is $8 because it's once a month. And total packet is $141 to $195 per year. For regular board meetings, it's
$2,145 to $2,472.
Yes, ma'am.
So we can multiply for years of service of trustee. Mrs. Searles, how many years you've been serving in this district, in this board district?
Long time.
How many years, ma'am?
I'm not sure, Ms. Brown.
How many years? We need to clarify and be transparent with our community. We would like to know how many years you've been serving in this
Madam
board.
Chair, I don't think you need to back.
No, I'm not harassing, all that I wanted to be transparent.
That's not on the
That's okay.
agenda,
To the
ma'am.
cost associated with the printing and delivering board books for 5 years only, just for us to make conscience. $25,740.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I believe this is harassment.
No, I believe this is a transparency, ma'am.
To the counselor, to the lawyer, please.
This
Is
information
there
to our
any-
constituents. That's it, ma'am. That's it. All that I need to
Mr.
do is to inform our.
Mr. Blanco, is there any reason that Ms. Searles cannot have printed material?
No, the policy requires a report that.
Okay, I have no problem with the report. Absolutely no problem with the report. I think then the same report, which we don't do, is how many trips we go on.
Well, trips is not on the agenda, and we could discuss this in another time.
Okay,
We're
then
talking
I would
about
like
the
you to
printed
put it on the
material.
agenda.
That's it, ma'am. Thank you very much.
I'll
Ms.
make that
Sonia,
on the
which is the
agenda.
next item, please?
I believe it's a permit.
Adjournment.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, Dr. Galaviz needs to talk
Galaviz
about.
gave me his eyes, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. We have
Dr.
two more
Galaviz
items.
needs to, Dr. Galaviz needs to.
Item
talk.
number 9, new business.
Oh, it's a new business.
Discussion with possible action.
Yes, discussion of possible action regarding changes to the superintendent 2019 instrument for formative evaluation.
Steve, Mr. Blanco, I wish you could help me articulate this. One of the things, board, is that I'm finding that it seems like even though it's a formative, it's more summative. One in January of the domains 1 through 8. And I come back and I do a summative. I was just wondering if we could streamline domain 1 through 8 and just have that more of a summative in July. I think been sending you copies in the Thursday packet. Some
Yeah, so there's, when the law changed 2 years ago, there's only one legal requirement for the evaluation of the superintendent. Any evaluation instrument has to include an item regarding student achievement performance. Beyond that, the rest of the evaluation process and the instrument to be used is left to the local boards to develop and then use with the superintendent's input to evaluate him at the end of the year. K2 has an older process where you were actually using the formative, you were creating an evaluation document, having a formative assessment as kind of a mid-year evaluation, and then using the same basic structure and domains to have a summative assessment at the end of the year. New met, not met doesn't really gear towards that because you're not scoring. I don't know if you remember, but the year before last, we had a half of an evaluation cycle where you had a score.
Right.
And then you had the second half, you didn't have a score.
Right.
You had met, not met. So it's kind of unnecessary to do that anymore. And I talked to Dr. Galaviz about it. And he asked me, and I said, you still have the obligation to create the assessment instrument, which is passed into the board, decide on the goals, and then the subcategories to determine whether the goal was met, but then use that final instrument for one summative evaluation. You still meet when you would normally give them the formative assessment, but that's to discuss the evaluation instrument. Create it, agree on it, and then move forward and have one summative at the end of the year.
So with that, I'd like to move to approve the changes to the.
You could ask first, ma'am. You need to be recognized.
To the superintendent.
You need to be recognized or your motion is done. You need to be recognized. You need to ask me that you're going to move to approve, please.
Do you think I could move to approve now?
No, you need to ask that the Robert rule says, not me.
Madam Chair?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that how you want to be called?
Yes, ma'am. That's the way I am, like it or not.
Madam Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Trout,
Yes,
do
ma'am.
you think it'd be okay if we?
You don't need to be harassed, and you don't need to talk like that so sarcastically, ma'am. If you're gonna start to talk sarcastically, I'm gonna cut you off, ma'am.
Okay, so you don't want me to do it?
I want you to break yourself with respect.
Madam Chair?
I'm with Mrs. Searles right now, so can you please make your move the way that you should do it, ma'am?
Yes, I move to approve the changes that the superintendent has made here to this 2019 instrument for formative evaluation.
And I second.
There was a motion and a second. Ms. Brigham,
Yes.
Mr. Coronado,
Yes,
Ms. Ritchie,
Yes.
Mrs. Searles, Mrs. Trout,
Yes.
and Mrs. Iglesias.
Yes.
Item B, discussion of possible action regarding the Lone Star Exemplar Cohort, possible training dates and schedule. Dr. Galavis.
I just wanted, we're part of the Lone Star governance. I just wanted to show you some dates of the 18-19 mandatory meeting on November 30th and December 1st. So I just wanted to put this on your radar, because it is a commitment of all of us being there, the team of 8. So, again, this is just for your eyes discussion.
Madam Chair, may I ask a question, please?
Yes, ma'am?
Dr. Galavis, we're about to have a possible huge turnover on our board. Do you think this is a little
It is premature, but they wanted some tentative dates turned in. Jake Crabble asked for some dates. So again, given that the board meeting follows the fourth Tuesday of every month, just took it upon myself to go through the calendar, Sonia, myself, and then the board president, the way we sit together along with the coach, board agenda, and I'll have a personal. But there is a meeting in December where we will evaluate ourselves, team of 8, and go over, it's 3 hours, or half days that we've committed to. It's part of this process.
What date of December, Dr. Galavis, we have?
Still haven't set that yet.
Not yet?
That's still up for discussion. But the board meetings, that I just took that the Tuesday of every month. So again, you have March. It's usually spring break, so we moved it back. You have Thanksgiving back. That usually falls in December. So that's it, Sonia, right?
Yes, sir.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am?
Dr. Galavis, on this piece of paper here, so the only ones we're looking at is the team of 8, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So-
The team of 8, and then November 30th and December 1st.
Okay, so, help me, so, let's see, so, the first one is January, okay, it says, board meeting the 22nd, the monthly thing I don't worry about, and then the coach call I don't worry about.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, the only thing you're asking us right now is November 30th and December 8th?
Yes, ma'am. Just wanted to put this on your.
Okay, I have a question again for you, sir. Is every single board member?
Yes, November 30th and December 1st.
And, not or, and,
And,
both.
okay,
And all of us, we need to be there.
yes, ma'am. Committee,
In Region 19? Do you have the time?
9 to 6.
I'm not sure I can commit to those dates.
Yes, and November
I'll
30th,
have
do you know
to-
what time of the
Yeah,
day?
if you could just get back to
What
me.
date?
I'll be glad to, I'm
Yes,
just,
ma'am.
you know, I,
But, and let me, I'm sorry, let me, I don't mean to interject you,
Please.
Steve. Brigham, is that we're also partnering with San Elliott. It's getting 2 boards together,
I can
so
imagine.
it'd be like 16 of us.
Okay, you know, I know, I can try my hardest, okay? And the other thing is too, is I know it's not, so I guess we'll need to put this on the agenda, sir. Is, interaction, you know, that we can be at a board meeting without even, you know, that on video tape or something like that, video conference.
It is near impossible.
What's Mayor Pascal, I'm sorry.
To participate in the board meeting through video conferencing. It can be done, but the technology requirements on both ends are so severe that unless you're gonna be somewhere for a very long period of time, it's not really working.
You know, Dr. Galvin, let me, if I may, I'd like to come talk to you,
Yes, ma'am.
because I do have issues going to this.
I understand. It's 3.
So November the 30th is Friday, and December the 8th? Oh, December 1st. What day? Thank you, Dr. Galavi. 9 to 6. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Galavi. So, well, we need to let them know how many persons, so we need to let you know a certain time for that you could have how many persons that we're gonna go to this training, Dr. Galavis. Is there any due date for the November 30th?
I think it's the end of this month, or next week, I have.
Thank you very much. Any more questions?
Check.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Calaviso, so the 30th would be from 9 a.m. to 6?
Yes, sir.
That Saturday?
9 to 6.
Saturday's not a problem for me. Friday, I have a final schedule, 53 that day. Oh, I'll have to check my calendar and try to reset.
Next item, please. Item number 10, adjournment.
What time is
The
it?
time is 8:20.
Thank you, Ms. Sonia.
Thank you.
Stops in the sport.